Hello. This week on 5 Brilliant Things, we have the brilliant comedian and podcaster Amy Gledhill.
His name was Fat Bob, and he was headbanging to classical music.
I can see that. Play, you c***. Yeah, I've seen that. Everyone go, where are you from? England.
Go on, Vivaldi's son.
Yeah. What would be your dream sort of sandwich, if there was
Okay.
such a sandwich?
I love a pea sandwich.
Me. Sorry. But awful start.
So I'd always loved the dungeon. It's a terrifying place to work.
I bet, yeah.
Sat on your own in the dark, covered in fake blood,
Oh my God.
listening to horror soundtracks that are like screams. Some of them have like crying babies in them. Like it's really genuinely terrifying.
Amy,
Hello.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And you've escaped a blaze to get here.
I have, yeah. It's been a real journey. I feel like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, and you've come from Crouch End. You avoided a fire,
Yeah.
and that's why you were slightly late. No judgment.
Oh gosh.
But
Well,
nice to have a backstory, because you said I was late because there was a fire, and I googled to
Yeah,
see
you were like,
not if you were telling the truth, but you said apparently there was a big fire and there's a huge blaze.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it says a lot about me that I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, let's see if their story
Isn't that
checks
evil?
out.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that.
No,
but
we've just met. I get it. You need to suss me out.
No.
I'm clearly untrustworthy.
not the slightest. But it's nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you, and I'm very
Oh.
excited about this. What is your first brilliant thing?
My first brilliant thing is my favourite band,
Okay.
System of a Down.
Right, System of a Down. I'm not familiar with their work. I know
Okay.
they're as far from folk as you can get.
Yeah, but I also love folk.
Do you?
Yeah.
But you can't really sort of like mosh folk. Do you know what I mean? I can't
Yeah.
imagine anyone listening to like Joni Mitchell and fucking
Just really going for it.
just
Just
sort of
going for it.
running around.
Do you know, the first time I saw classical music live, I
Mm-hmm.
was with my boyfriend, a teenage boyfriend at the time,
Right.
who got me into System of a Down, and he was kind of moshing to classical music. I'd never seen
Oh,
it done
that's
before.
interesting.
Yeah, he was just taken by it. It was the Four Seasons.
Which
And he was
is
going
that
for it.
ba, 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 ba?
I think so. It's one of them. It's one of
Yeah.
it's Vivaldi. It's one of the
Yeah.
classic ones. And we'd gone on my first ever trip abroad. I went to Venice for my 18th birthday for a
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
And we went to watch this classical music, and his name was Fat Bob, and he was headbanging to classical music, and everyone else was very like tightly laced up. And I thought, yeah, why aren't we grooving to Vivaldi?
Shall I just give you a little bit of that so you can hear what Bob was moshing to?
Oh, please.
First of all, can we just luxuriate in the fact that Bob liked to bob? Isn't that nice? Just the idea of, do you know what I mean? The perfect palindrome name. And
Yes.
he is what he is. I love that. How does it go? I can see that. Play, you can. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. So just imagine that everyone go, where are you from? England. Do you know what I mean?
Yorkshire, not even England, like Yorkshire.
Yeah, exactly.
Go on, Vivaldi's son.
Yeah, I love that. But so was he that kind of a guy that was just overcome by music?
Yeah,
So he
music
just
was
had
his
to
life.
sway.
Yeah, he had to swear.
But what an interesting sort of palette to kind of introduce you to, and we'll get to the band.
Yeah.
So System of a Down.
Yeah.
Who, in fact, why don't we have a brief snippet of what they sound like,
yeah.
so we can compare and contrast?
Okay, bit of a slower start, but don't you worry. It's coming.
They're actually very gentle.
Well, there you go.
Goodness me.
Well, I would say, bizarrely, there are similarities there.
They're very melodic.
And
Yes!
but isn't that interesting? But it's very musical, and
It is
in
very
my
musical,
mind's
yeah.
eye, it was going to be like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it felt very kind of like
yeah.
heavy metal classical, I guess.
Do you know what? That's perfectly described. It's really melodic. It's really musical. There's two singers. They do a lot of harmonies, and they do a little bit of sort of screamy shouting now and again, but they sing. They really sing. And also it's funny. Their lyrics are really funny and kind of surreal.
What would be an example of that?
Well, I mean, I say funny.
Yeah, no,
It's
no,
not, it's
no,
not
no.
like funny,
No.
funny
No,
jokes.
I wasn't. I was asking with interest. I was going to prove it. I wasn't saying like that.
Okay, so for example, there's a song about a guy having a tapeworm.
Nice.
And
nice.
the chorus is about
in.
pulling the tapeworm out.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, in fairness, it would have to be the chorus.
It's got to
Do you
be
know
the
what I mean?
chorus. Yeah.
If you open with that, where do you go? Do you know what I mean? So what? So that's
Yeah.
so interesting. So
Yeah.
how does that go?
Do you want to do the chorus?
Yeah, if that's okay.
Pull the tapeworm out of your ass. Hey, pull the tapeworm
Is
out
that
of your
really
ass.
it?
Hey, yeah. Pull
Brilliant.
the tapeworm out of me. Yeah.
God. Well, I'm here for that. So it is funny, of course.
It's funny.
So when you're singing that, I mean, because if anything was made to be sung along to, it's that. When you're singing along to that at a gig,
Yeah.
is everyone kind of laughing? Is there, or are you taking it seriously?
I think.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think System of a Down fans split into two distinct camps. There's the sort of, and I'm going to say guy, I'm generalising here, but there's the sort of guy who would wear a Slipknot hoodie to a funeral. Do you know what I mean? Like grunge is their life. Everything's very serious about it.
Yeah.
And then there's the sort of fans who are a bit more removed from the scene and just like, oh, I like this band, I like these songs.
Yes.
So, for example, they're doing a tour soon. So they've been away for a decade and they're coming back. And the amount of comics that are going,
That's
and I
interesting.
didn't even realise.
Who would be in that? Who's in the club?
So, myself, Ian Smith, James Acaster, Ed Gamble, you got Jess Foster-Q. You can't believe Sean McLaughlin, where you're like, we're all going, we've all got tickets.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing. It's on a Sunday. We're doing Sunday lunch, and then going to watch System of a Down.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you're going to go with a belly full of sort of, beef, Yorkshire puddings, parsnips.
Yeah, and
And
chat
I
about
would imagine
tapeworms.
but also, surely if you do get a bit of sort of post Sunday dinner gas, it's going to be covered in it. There aren't going to be any quiet bits. Do you know what I mean? You're gonna fart with confidence there. But
These, if I'm not mistaken, Amy, and please
Oh, please, yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but you people like to mosh.
Right, yes.
So if you're
Yes.
moshing with a
Yeah.
full Yorkshire lunch inside you,
Yeah.
that feels like you're agitating gas.
But do you know what? The brilliance of moshing is it's sort of neck based.
You're right.
If you're dancing,
Yeah.
you're moving all body parts, chest, torso, legs. Moshing is a very stationary thing. You can just hold the gravy in your tummy and just do head.
correct. Yeah.
And that's the genius of a mosh, you know?
Of all the people you've described, I think the one I'd like to see dance most is James Acaster.
For sure.
Because I'm getting epileptic giraffe vibes. Do you know what I mean? Of kind of, you could just sort of, everything's flailing.
Bit meerkatty, that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I bet it kind of works.
Yeah.
God, so when did you get into them?
So I would have been year 9 is when I got into them. So I changed schools and I went to a school.
Oh, difficult.
Difficult.
That's a tough time to change schools.
Tricky old time to change schools, but
it
it actually worked out brilliant because I was a real teacher's pet. All the way to primary school, never been told off. I was like creepy, sickeningly good, you know. And then we went to secondary school and I was still very, very, very well behaved. But I was going to a school in Hull, like inner city Hull, and then moved to a school that was by the sea, that was very nice. But because I was coming on the bus from Hull, a rumour went round that I was like I was hard, I was dangerous. And I was like, oh my God, she's from Hull. So I had this reputation of being a badass, and I'd never been a badass in my entire life. So I had all of a sudden this kind of street cred that I didn't deserve, but I sort of just tried to wear it for a bit, like, maybe I will hit you. Never hit anyone to this day, wouldn't dare, but I was like, you want to watch out, everybody. I've got on the bus from Hull. And then gradually everyone was like, oh, she's just a loser. She's fine.
And so you move school, you come with this sort of newfound swagger. And are you looking for a music that fits this? And you're thinking, was that how you got into it? Or?
It was sort of like a new me. It was like,
Gotcha.
So in Hull, there was kind of, at my school anyway, there were no moshers, there were no goths. That would have been bullied out of you very quickly.
Yeah.
But at this school by the seaside, people was a bit more free to do stuff.
Yeah.
And I saw that there's these sort of, they were my friends, but sort of stinky kids, look like they're having a great time. And I was like, well, what's going on over there? You've all got hoodies on. They look very comfortable. Oh, I like the look of that. And then this was still at a time with cassettes.
So what age is this?
So I was
give me the year.
About 2000.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So there was still cassettes, moving on to mini discs.
Yes.
Yeah, I was big into mini discs.
The mini discs were frustrating though, because you had to hold it, and so you had to sort of like instantly become a butler. Do you know what I mean? But you had to keep it flat.
Mini discs.
Yeah, but it was always that like a tape
Yeah.
you could just have in your Walkman and you could flail.
Yeah.
But you had to keep it.
Yeah, because if you knocked it, it would stop. It would just stop. And I was getting the bus every morning to school.
How long did that take?
Like over an hour.
Wow.
It was crazy, but I had to get out of the whole school because that was so bad that the teachers at parents' evening, 2 different teachers grabbed my parents by the arm and was just like, get her out of here. Save yourselves. So my parents went, okay, so they did. And then I became a mosher, and I think they were like, absolutely,
wow.
What have we done?
And did you do well academically?
Yes, I did.
Good, because that would, imagine that. If
I
they
know.
kind of like, well, you're doing really well, you're a teacher's pet, and then you go to the sea and you find the devil, and you get all straight E's, and they're like, fuck.
What have we done?
Yeah, exactly. We should have kept her in West Philadelphia.
Yeah. We took her to the sea and she's got some tapeworm, apparently.
Exactly. That's so funny.
And this sort of music, I'd never heard anything like it before in my life. And I remember being played it and being like, oh, what's this? This is very interesting. This is making me feel a whole new way. Because it gives you this sort of like rebellious spirit. It sort of ignites something in you, especially if you've been a teacher's pet. And then all of a sudden you're hearing this kind of aggressive music. And you're like, what? I can just listen to this. I'm just allowed to walk around and listen to this, am I? And it really, I think, really helped me sort of come out of my shell a bit. And it was a real, because I didn't have football or like I couldn't play any instruments or anything, it was a real cement, like a social cement, but like, did you hear the new album? And it just became the soundtrack of my school and college years. And then that dictated what nightclubs I went to, because so in Hull there was like a rock club called Spiders, which is this infamous.
It's a great name for a
club. It's still there.
It's still there. Yes, £3 to get in, shots 50p. And as well, I can only speak from my experience, but as a sort of girl going into a club, all my friends that were going to the usual nightclubs that played dance music would be sort of dressed up in a way that didn't sort of make sense to me, sort of very short skirts, low-cut tops. When you go to Spiders, it's still a nightclub, but you can wear jeans and a hoodie, and you're like, I feel so much more comfortable in this attire than I do sort of glammed up and acting like that. So I'd go every Saturday. It's only open Fridays and Saturdays. In fact, it might not even open on Fridays now. And you have to be a member to get in.
Great.
But if you just say you're a member at the door, nobody checks. So you just go, member, and they go, in you go. It's on 2 floors. Upstairs plays funk and soul. Downstairs, there's 2 different rooms. One's super heavy, really heavy, and one's a bit more like pop punky. But everyone in there's like a bit of a shared vibe of like,
Misfits.
And it's nice.
Yeah.
It's a really different vibe to a nightclub where everyone's trying to be like, we're so cool.
Yeah.
Everyone there's like, we're losers.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
I
it's
love it.
nice. It was really nice. And all the drinks are like, there's a drink called a Pangalactic Gargle Blaster. All the drinks are like plastic cups of like...
What is in a Pangalactic Gangle Buster?
I think about 8 different shots of very, very cheap spirits, and then something that makes it green. And you get
and then finally the green. Like, you know what I mean? Everything
extra
else.
green.
Yeah. I love that.
And you get a little sweetie in the bottom, like a snake, like a.
This place sounds great.
It was honestly the best time of my life, and I used to go underage, and my poor parents. My only rule was like with them was I wasn't allowed to lie. So they're like, do whatever you want, but you've got to tell us what you're doing. And it ended up I was the safest out of all my friends because they knew always where I was. And my dad would he'd have to pick me up in his little van outside, which was just this poor man just sat in a van outside a club where 80% of people are underage.
At what time did he pick you up?
But 2.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
So when you're like what, 16? Younger.
Yeah.
Really? That's impressive. But also that is the gift and also the curse of being a woman.
100%.
That you can get into places.
Yeah.
When you shouldn't be able to get into places.
100%.
So you end up in this like in a frightening world because you look older.
Yeah.
Whereas boys want to get into that frightening world, but we're not allowed in.
No chance. But also it's tricky.
We're in the back of the van.
You're in the back of the van.
just with your dad, just waiting.
Look at them all,
Yeah,
Mr.
exactly.
Gledhill.
Yeah, exactly. Tell us some stories, Mr. Gledhill. We just got like steam coming off our ship. A sensational start. I really enjoyed that. What is your next brilliant thing?
My next brilliant thing is cheap sliced white bread.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you're not a fan.
Well, Dan is a bread connoisseur.
I bake.
He all right. Just get into that. And he bakes.
And he bakes,
He he bakes his own bread.
So I have a beef with the Chorleywood bread making process, but do continue.
Wait, what's the
Whoa,
Chorleywood?
What's the Chorleywood? Yeah.
So it's when you buy supermarket bread in a wrapper that is not slow fermented, they use an enormous amount of water, pressure and chemicals to make it rise fast to service Britain's bread needs on a daily basis. That's an enormous amount of bread you've got to make for humans before we even get onto the ducks. So there's this huge amount of bread need, and the Chorleywood bread making process is doing it, but it removes all nutritional value from the thing you're putting in your mouth. It goes in your mouth, through your system, and out of your bum without giving you anything.
Have you seen the behind the scenes for the new Hovis ad? It's unbelievably bleak.
It goes in your mouth and out your bum.
It goes in your mouth and out your bum like it did for Nana. She's constantly. Well, so ignore him on his sourdough high horse. Which is a very good password for you. What is it you love so much about? Let's call it what it is. Dirty white bread.
Dirty white
But
bread.
do you like it thick?
No, I like it
Like
exactly how
medium-
it comes.
medium slice, yeah.
Medium sliced. Butter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, lovely bit of butter. Or marge, that can be sort of plasticky and
Yep.
really bad for you as well. And then it just means that anything becomes a meal.
Yes.
There is nothing, I genuinely think there's nothing that can't be improved with a slice of bread wrapped around it.
Well, that's very interesting, irrespective of the bread.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful challenge.
While we're here,
Yeah.
exactly. While we're here, what would be your dream sort of sandwich, if there was
Okay.
such a sandwich?
Well, I can give you some of my top ones with the cheap white bread.
Yep.
I love a pea sandwich.
Fuck me. Sorry, but awful start. I mean, it's terrible. What a pea sandwich.
Pea sandwich.
Good
yeah,
Lord,
like you've been boiling your peas. You drain them. You put them on some white bread, a little bit of salt, a little bit of vinegar. Fold the bread, squish it down. Bit of
Yeah.
steam comes out.
It's like
Ooh.
But it's like some sort of princess's bed. Like, but what is the
What a
just
sad-
peas?
Oh, yeah.
Just peas.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're being fancy, you could have like a little bit of onion, like a little bit of chopped up onion, white onion.
La-di-da.
What is
Oh,
what
I
are you
think it's
get-
delicious.
What are you getting out of that?
The taste. It's a quite big scale.
there's
Taste
nothing-
sensation.
There's nothing. There's not a sauce. There's not a tomato sauce.
You
There's
don't
not.
need it. You got a bit of vinegar.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got the pea. I said the peas.
Of course you did. Yeah, yeah.
I said the butter and I said the bread.
Have you ever had a mushy pea sandwich?
Of course I have.
See,
Yeah.
I would get that more because at
Oh,
least that's
really?
kind of. But like, okay, well that's a huge start. So
Okay. Other sandwiches I love.
yeah, give me your top 3.
I'm gonna go tomato.
Just tomato.
Just
Are you
tomato.
vegetarian?
No.
Right. Okay. So just again a tomato sandwich.
Yeah, but you
I
can have.
refer to what you said earlier, where you could turn anything into a meal. But thus far, you're turning sides into a meal. I would argue.
Oh yeah, I guess.
You know.
Yeah.
Raw or cooked, the tomato?
Well, you can have either. So I would say if you're having a raw tomato, you're better to go for a tomato toasty.
Yep, I see that.
Yeah.
Nice bit of cheese on top.
Yeah, if you need it, but I don't think you need it. Bit of salt and pepper, lovely stuff. Or I don't like plum tomatoes. You know, like cooked
Yep.
tomatoes. Maybe no, you don't need anything with that. You don't even need to make that sandwich. You can just dip the bread in.
Yep.
You know.
Oh, it's very Spanish.
Yeah, it's actually very European, isn't it? Now I think
Yeah.
about it, it's not Council Estate Hall. It's European. I've just remembered I'm very European. Mushroom sandwich, potato sandwich, mashed potato sandwich, lasagna sandwich.
Okay. Yeah. These are all. None of these are sandwiches. Amy. Like they're what they are is decisions.
They're life
Do you know what I
choices.
mean? Yeah. It's like,
It's like a sketch about the North being hard.
but it's the excitement.
Oh, I love. If I could have.
Do you ever have a fancy sandwich?
Yeah.
And does that? Do you like it as much? So if like, because what you're describing is as far away from an M&S sandwich as you can get. Like,
I think you need to define terms and what is a fancy sandwich
so
by your
okay,
measure.
so all right, so that it's got sourdough bread and there's maybe Parma ham and brie and something like that,
Yeah.
or a kind of a prawn cocktail,
Yeah.
M&S sandwich.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I love all sandwiches,
Right,
but they're not all equal.
gotcha.
I think these sandwiches with the dirty white bread are tastier. I genuinely think they're tastier. And I think they're sort of comforting and warming and almost like nostalgic.
Yeah, I see that. I get that. So would that have been your kind of go-to kind of post-school meal?
No, my mum would cook like a really nice meal, but I'd be having. So if my mum was
But
making
I mean,
like,
as soon as you get in.
oh, well,
Did you do that? Because I was definitely, as soon as I got in from school, 3 o'clock, scoff, I'd have
Yeah.
5 Weetabix and we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was it.
Yeah. In them instances, I'd have a crisp sandwich.
Yeah.
And again, dirty white bread. It's the crushing of the
Yeah, I get that.
oh prawn cocktail crisps,
Yeah.
white bread. Mamma mia.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I just love it. But I will say I do like nice bread. I lived in Italy very briefly.
Did you?
Yeah, and their bread for a time sort of ruined my life because it was so good. And then I came back and I was a bit like,
Where did you live in Italy?
I lived in Puglia in Altamura, which is in Bari.
And what were you doing there?
I had the best job in the world where I worked for like a charity organisation who would send underprivileged kids around the world to do it was like basically giving poor kids a gap year. But I'd go up and set up these programs for them. So I went to Jamaica, I went to Italy, I went to Reunion Island, which is off the coast of Madagascar, and I'd have to turn up and go, could like a British kid come and work in this youth club? So I lived there for like a few months while I was setting it up, and I'd go to the pub at night, and I'd come home, and from like 3 a.m. there's these sort of almost cartoonish, like Disney old Italian men like making the bread. They just work at it so hard, and there's so much care and love that goes into it. And every piece of bread I had in that country, even if it was from like the equivalent of a corner shop, was like incredible. So then when I came back, there was a transitional period where I had to be like, okay, this doesn't taste like that. But then all that's gone and I'm back to my dirty white bread.
Were you? Because I remember my friend Reese. He went on a gap year, and then he was in McDonald's in Filton in Bristol, and he asked them if they had blueberry flavoured Fanta, and this girl was like, no, and he said, oh, they serve it in Peru. He went, does this look like Peru, mate? And it was the best answer. It was such a fantastic way of going. Oh, I loved it. Did you have a similar thing where you were like, well, when I was in Italy near Bari, I was having...
Yeah.
I just imagine like the North reacting in a really funny way to that.
Oh, yeah.
Did you? Did you have that?
Oh, right.
Yeah, right.
Oh, well, go back there then if the bread's so good.
Yeah, exactly.
Too good for your mashed potato sandwich now,
Yeah.
are you?
Exactly.
Oh, she wants salt on the peas for the sandwich. Oh, Your Majesty.
I love that. What is your next brilliant thing?
My next brilliant thing are hairdryers.
Okay.
But not just for drying one's hair.
Oh, this is interesting.
I've always loved a hairdryer for the sound and the heat.
Yes.
And I've developed this thing which is perfect for winter called a hot pocket.
Okay.
So you go home at night, you're chilly. It's too late to put the heating on. You know, you've been to a gig, it's too late to put the heating on, you're cold. You lift up your duvet, you blast your hairdryer into the sheets. You only need 30 seconds, turn it off, then you slip in and it's a little hot pocket and it's like a hug, it's like a lovely warm hug.
I know exactly what you think. Do you know, my mum used to do that. So my mum, when she was drying our hair when we were kids, she would be doing our hair and then she would just lift our pyjamas up and just go like that. And I think that was the first sexual feeling I ever had.
Oh, God.
No. She wasn't trying. She wasn't trying to get me off. I'm just saying. It was. I think looking back on it, it was the first time when I was like, "That's all right, isn't it, Mum?" Like, and I didn't say that. I just felt it,
I get
and
it,
it
I get
felt
Really
good.
work it if he's going to take me on a travel show when he grows up.
No, let's not make it. Listen, I know I said that, but it wasn't. It was on the edges of sexual.
Yeah.
But it was
because it's
nice. It felt
touching all
good.
your
Yeah,
skin.
it felt. She was like, and it was like, whoa. And she'd even make that noise, whoa, and you'd be like, yeah, fucking right, woman. Anyways, but I know what you mean. It feels good.
Yes, it feels incredible. I also find the noise so soothing. Like, I love it. And I've recently discovered this might be like an ADHD thing, but when I was like doing any schoolwork or homework or, God, my university dissertation.
What was it on, your university?
It was on Richard Herring.
Was it? Oh, my Lord. Okay, but what about
It was on, because I was comparing comedy to performance art.
Yeah.
I went to quite a bit of I did quite a wanky course.
What did you do?
I did performance and cultural industries at Bretton Hall, which is, you know, a bit of an arty. It's basically a big. It was closed now, but it was a big mansion in the middle of Yorkshire Sculpture Park that just did kind of like arts courses.
Wow.
And it was very much like, hey, let's just all go dance in the woods and devise theatre.
God, that must have been the best 3 years of your life.
I struggled at first because everyone was from London and I'd never sort of interacted with anyone who wasn't like a working class kid, and I didn't understand, and I was a bit like, what's this? Why are we doing that? That's daft. I thought we were going to do like reading scripts and that. What do you mean dance? I was a bit reluctant to sort of dive in, and then by the end I was the most pretentious of everyone. I really took to it.
So you were doing your dissertation about Richard Herring.
Oh, and about performance art, and if because it was when Richard Herring was doing the Hitler Moustache tour.
Yes.
And it was like, which is the best medium to talk about difficult things? Is it comedy or is it something that's more serious?
Okay. And what was your summary? What was your sort of conclusion?
I think it was that comedy is more able to affect a change. Yeah. Which I think that Hitler mustache tour that he did, I'd never seen anyone. I mean, I wasn't doing comedy or anything at this point, and it just sort of blew my mind that a comedian was sort of tackling. It was when the BNP were coming up, and it was funny, and I was just I didn't go and watch it to do my dissertation on it. I watched it and then was like, well, I think that's changed my brain a bit. That I didn't know
Really?
comedians could sort of
Well, there you go. That is
affect
interesting.
social change.
So when you're doing your dissertation, to go back to the hair
Yeah.
and the ADHD thing, what was the connection there?
I had to have my hairdryer
Right.
on the floor, pointing at my feet. I needed the noise and I needed the heat, like the physical like sensation of heat somewhere on my body to almost like distract my brain enough that I could think. And still now, if I've got like a deadline or I'm like, oh, I need to just write a little bit of material, I'll pop a hairdryer on and I can think.
Is that right?
My most, when you get your Spotify Wrapped, always my most top played track is Brown Noise. And it's so embarrassing. But so Brown Noise is kind of like a hairdryer, but without the tint. It's just a bit deeper.
Brown, that's what my son listens to go to bed.
Oh, really?
There's all sorts of noises. It's wild. But there's pink noise, white noise.
A pink noise.
Yeah. But the brown noise is like white is it's quite on the and brown is more
yes.
sort of that. It's very pink is in between.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, but brown is like it sort of feels, it's like the beginning of a hawk, like
yeah.
you know what I mean? Before you do that, it's before you actually tour. It's the I think I've made my point very well.
I think you did very good.
Sure.
Yeah. It's like the sound of a plane.
Yes, very good.
When it's like this sort of like
planes
hum.
are so strange, aren't they? Because they what is it that makes, and I think it has been scientifically proven, isn't it, that if you watch a film on a plane, you're more likely to cry. And you sort of sleep really well. It's really strange. There's lots going on. But I'll weep or laugh more when I watch a film on a plane than if I was watching in the cinema. I don't know what it does. I remember really laughing. I was watching and the stewardess saw me. It was like a fat, big belly laugh. And she kind of recognised me. So she's obviously going, oh, he's a comedian. I wonder what makes them laugh. This will be interesting. And it was, I was watching a film called Beverly Hills Chihuahua, and there was a dog that had just cleaned his teeth, and he'd just gone minty. And the way he said it was so, something just gets you. Yeah. And the look of disappointment on the stewardess, you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what are you watching that for?
And you're a professional, eh?
Yeah, it's strange. Were you trying to back up my plane's...
It's hypoxia.
What's hypoxia?
Low oxygen levels. Sending your brain into funny places.
Is that what it does?
So you're almost a little bit hysterical, almost.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, the emotional vulnerability from travel stress, apparently.
Is that right?
Just body's not happy because it's flying through the air at 600 miles an hour, and you weren't designed to do that.
Right.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So, do you have a favourite hairdryer down the years that you've kept hold of, or do you sort of ebb and flow?
I don't. I'll change hairdryers when they explode, when I've used them too much. But the first thing I do is I get it home and I plug it in and I have a little listen. I'm like, I get it out of the box
time?
and I'm like, oh, it's a good one. It's a deep baby. It's a big boy. It's a chunky boy. Like, yeah. I just love the sound of it so much. And with an ex, I used to, bless him, if I couldn't sleep, because I find it quite difficult to fall asleep, I'd ask him to hairdryer me. And so I'd be in bed and he'd just be like just hairdrying like up and down my back. And I'd just be drifting off. And then he'd turn it off and I'd go, I'm not quite asleep yet. And he'd have to get it back. And I'd be like, you have to make sure I'm like fully asleep. Wow. I sound absolutely insane.
Fine. And suddenly what my mum was doing to me in 1988 is fine.
Yeah.
Isn't that so? How does that work the first time? Because your sort of powers of persuasion have to be so good that first time to go. Sometimes I struggle to go to bed. It's a bit silly. We're all like this. would you? Because you know the end of the sentence. He doesn't. At this point, he's like, would I? You know, and he's thinking it's going to be something sexual.
Yeah,
It's going to be a massage. Would you get the hairdryer out? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Here we go.
And just treat me like bacon. Could you just try and heat me up? Yeah, okay. I guess. But that is, that's commitment.
It's real commitment. And
you don't do that anymore. Are you in a relationship now?
I'm not, but as soon as I am, that will be night one. You've just, I'm just not going to hide it anymore. I'm going to be like, hello, my name's Amy. I'm sort of like an average kind of girlfriend, but I will expect you to hairdry me constantly. But I will feed you in terrible sandwiches.
Okay.
So, your podcast's single ladies in your area.
Yes.
Have you made it clear on that the hairdryer is a requirement?
No, I haven't. But maybe I should put that out there. I think on my dating profile, I do have a list of things I like, and I think hairdryers are on there.
It's so funny though, isn't it? Because I'm 45, so and there's a realm of kind of observations and comedy I know nothing about, which is that of the dating world. You know, like I sort of was, you know, in that era of going to a pub, getting pissed, and then just trying to summon the courage to talk to a girl, you know. And I sort of think, wow, like,
I feel like that's the way nature intended. I think
but the idea of, but then also
crazy.
the idea of being able to sort of curate a paragraph for yourself, like this kind of like fishing net that you would then send out into the digital realm.
Yeah.
Must be, you know, as someone that was, I'm a pretty good talker, but I was always in a nightclub where they couldn't hear me talk. If I was able to kind of then go, just here's a paragraph, just have a read of that, and I'll be over here more. I think it's, you know, that seems easier, but then you never know because you don't get to watch your fishing rod.
Exactly.
Do you know? But
is
do
that
you know
a
what I mean?
euphemism?
No. But it kind of is that thing, isn't it? Of like it's all out there.
100%.
Whereas, you know, we were just trying to catch fish pissed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Of just going, all right, I'm not at my best, but I'm trying fair as you were fishing.
You're a beautiful fish.
Yeah, you're a beautiful fish. I'm a fisherman. Do you wanna come home in my net? No, I respect what you've said. We'll see you later. Yeah, but it's.
What about your mate?
Yeah, what about your mate? Yeah. Does she like fish? But it was so interesting because all of my mates that couldn't talk, it was, you know, they do amazingly well in nightclubs, and then as soon as they were out, and you could hear them, the girls would just dissipate. But it's it's interesting that not knowing about that world. So is this is the podcast about that, or do you also describe kind of, you know, the old-fashioned way of dating?
Well, so the podcast came about because me and Harriet Kemsley both found ourselves out of long-term relationships at the same time, and neither of us had been on apps before. We'd sort of missed it the first time round, and we were terrified. Of course. Like, how do we do this? Because we'd only known, you know, Lambrini and men coming up to you and going like, "You're a fish," and you're like, "Okay, well, let's kiss." That's all we knew.
You're a fish, I'm a fisherman. Yeah, exactly. The traditional way.
God's way.
Yeah,
a gentleman.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we, in the podcast, we're about to start series 3. We really thought we would be in relationships by now. We were like, one series and it'll be done. No, it will go on forever. But series 1 was very much like setting up our dating profiles. It's the most cringeworthy thing you'll ever do. Of
course.
It's like a CV, but you're trying to be like cool and sexy, and it's just awful. And you get prompts on dating apps, like questions.
Yeah.
And Harriet's convinced I should take this off, but I think it's my most successful prompt. The prompt is, dating me is like ...
Oh God.
And I said,
so scary,
having a Labrador with tits. And Harriet's like, that's so upsetting. That's a horrible image.
Yeah, it's because she's a woman. But as a man, I got to tell you.
Okay, it is a successful thing.
I get it, and I get it. It's two things.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of men that like dogs, and there's a lot of men that like tits. because I hear you. What I know Labradors, and what she's saying is she's hyperactive
And
and
enthusiastic.
which means, crucially, the tits are gonna jiggle. So it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. And I'm sorry, and I couldn't look you in the face when I said that, which is why I looked at Dan. But also it's fun. It's a funny joke. So it's fine.
you.
I think it's fine. But at least you don't have to go up to people and go, hello, I'm a Labrador with tits. Is it a no? Yeah, fine. Hello, I'm a Labrador with tits. You know, it can just go out there
Yes.
without you having to see the faces.
Yeah.
You never see the rejection.
Yeah.
And I guess you feel the rejection, but you don't see it.
You never see it. That's
which
really
is
good point.
kind of
Yeah.
lucky.
It is good. The downside is when you're out there being a fish or a fisherman, you can see the other person.
Yep.
You get a vibe.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you know what no means. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, like, when you read someone's paragraph, you might be like, God, this guy sounds incredible. And then you meet and you're like, oh, I would have never approached you. Not because of how you look, but like the vibe is like too serious or too like dour, or
Yeah.
you just know. If I think it takes like 3 seconds in a room with someone to know if there's a possible connection. I think.
But you're in a very unique position as well, being a comedian and being a woman. That is to a lot of blokes frightening.
It's hell, yes.
Well, to some, it's hell.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what that can't be. But to a lot of people, it's kind of like, maybe it's intimidating a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe,
because,
yeah.
Like, to that bloke go, well, that's all I got. You know, if I'm a bit silly and I'm a bit funny, you're suddenly like, oh, God.
Yeah.
You know, and it would be that thing of failing to realise, well, actually, you'd probably just really get on.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
Absolutely.
But anyways, I don't know why I said that, but
I
can see it.
Yeah, it's true, and it's so different. Like all my sort of single male comedian friends, they put comedian on their dating profile. They're pulling at gigs, you know, like women love that. Whereas I certainly don't put that I'm a comedian on my dating profile. I don't think any female comedians do. The most we dare say is writer. And then you sort of have to sort of it's almost like telling them you've got herpes. It's going like, and they're like, and what sort of writing do you do? And you have to be like, oh, look, I'm sorry about this, and I maybe should have been clear on the first date, but I do comedy. And they're like, huh? Oh, right. No, but the first question is always like, what's this? It's always like, what is this insert male comic like? And then you spend the entire day doing that, and you're a bit like,
yikes.
Yeah. They'll be like, what's Russell Howard like? I'll be like, oh, he has a goatee if you're late.
True. Yeah, I guess that is it, eh?
I think my question was for Amy about the actual experience of using these apps as a woman in the world. It sounds genuinely terrifying because it's not just the interaction on the app. Then you've got to meet this person who's a stranger. Yeah. Not often. Again, when I met my wife, I was very young, but we'd meet through friends or that kind of thing, or a shared interest, or at a thing, you know, at a bird watching sanctuary or a cheese night. And then you'd meet like-minded, exciting people. But for meeting strangers, it must be quite intense.
It is very intense, and it's so mad how you have to kind of presume that the person that you've chatted to and had a nice time with is a serial killer, and you have to put all of them safety precautions into effect. So you have to be like, you have to tell like 3 friends, this is where I'm going tonight. I always like screenshot their profile so that my friends have got a picture of him. This is his name. I think this is where he works. This is where we're going. I will message you at this time and at this time. And it's insane, but it's
you never see that in any rom-com.
You never see that in a rom-com.
There's never that kind of surveillance that presumably all women do.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but it is always like, I met this guy and he's the one. But there's never the, you know, before they meet Matthew McConaughey, they're like, right, he works in Greg's. And here's a photo of him with some dogs. But isn't that funny? I love stuff like that. Obviously, I don't love it. It's fucking horrible. But I really love having conversations like that because my male brain didn't know that. And then as soon as you say it, you go, of course. Of course. Isn't that wild?
Of course.
And you can and you will at some stage meet the partner you will marry
Yeah.
and yet beforehand you presume he's going to kill you.
Yes.
Isn't that mental? Isn't that mad? Whereas no man has that story ever.
That's
no man,
so fascinating.
but no man has ever kind of gone, I'm going on a date. Here's a photo of her, and here's where she works and all that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
God.
Isn't it funny? But I love those chats because it just illuminates the other side of the fence. And you're like, bloody hell, it's a lot easier on this side of the park. All you got to do is say I'm a fisherman. They tell you to fuck off, and that's that. Go home, have a wank, done. What's your next brilliant thing? Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm really rude today. I don't know what's wrong with me. What is your next brilliant thing?
My next brilliant thing is the York Minster.
Okay. Yep.
It is my favourite building in the world. I love it so much.
Why?
I think I saw it as a kid, and it was the first like big building I'd ever seen, and it sort of blew my mind.
Yeah.
So I'm from Hull, but we'd go, on the occasional day trip to York, and I love York.
And York, I would sort of describe it. It's very much, it's a beautiful, tiny, fascinating little city.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
feels
yeah,
very
yeah.
kind of plush and posh.
Yeah.
Compared to the rest of the north. Don't have a go at
Absolutely.
me. I'm just sort of saying it feels fancy compared
It's
to
a little
everywhere else.
enclave. Yeah, and Harrogate, which is kind of near York, is
Harrogate
kind of
also
similar
mad.
similar
They've
vibes.
got a brilliant sort of cake shop called Betty's in both of those.
Yes. Oh my God, Betty's. Oh, it's a staple of these places. It's gorgeous.
Swiss.
Is it? Betty's is Swiss.
Betty's is
That's why they
Swiss.
do such a good Rosh tea.
What the?
No.
Yeah, but there's no.
They Swiss people who came and lived in Yorkshire and set Betty's up originally.
Yeah, but there's no one from Switzerland's called Betty.
No.
So tell me about York Minster. So you've been to Betty's, you've had a
I've been
scone,
to Betty's.
and now you're looking at. And are you just? How old are you the first time you see it?
Oh, I don't know, primary school. I remember it blowing my mind.
Just the majesty of it.
Yeah, and then going inside, and we're not like a religious family by any stretch of the imagination. And I've been in churches before, but I just remember going in and feeling, even as someone who's still now like atheist, like when I go in, I just feel so, I don't know, almost like connected to something bigger. I feel like really sort of introspective and also like outward looking, and everything seems to be in perspective, and you feel so hushed and sort of in awe of something. And I just found it like incredible. I found it incredibly sort of moving to be in there, and I'd never experienced that in a building before.
That. And imagine what they must have felt like hundreds of years ago,
Yeah.
because we still feel it now. If you go into like
Yeah.
a big cathedral or something like that, you feel you feel God.
Yeah.
Even if you're not religious.
you
but
do.
imagine if you like didn't have an iPhone or an electric toothbrush and all these kind of mad Monicon, Sky Plus, all these things we take for granted.
If you
have
travelled there,
nothing,
horse and cart.
and then you suddenly like it's this the stained glass windows, everything, and there's Jesus, and it's just all they're pretty wild places.
It's a wild place.
You just feel that sense of, you feel very small and very kind of, this is a magical place. It kind of has that.
Yeah. And there's like a real darkness to it.
And so many people have been there down the years. So it's just kind of, you're standing on the footprints of millions.
Yes.
Wild, isn't it?
Yeah. All the way, that's spanning hundreds and hundreds of years. And then I moved to York after university, and I had this. It was the first place I'd lived on my own. I had a little flat.
Oh, great!
And
that's a nice first place to live on your own as well.
I adore York. I think I always say it almost feels like, because it's so quaint and cozy, it almost feels like you're indoors all the time. Do you know what I mean? It's just so nice. And my flat had the tiniest little balcony, and I could see the Minster from it. Like, there was a car park in front of it and like loads of other stuff, but I could see the Minster. And I really thought the novelty would wear off, but it just never did. Every day I'd go and I'd like look, especially at night, because they light it so beautifully. I'd just be like, oh my God, that's the coolest thing in the world. And if you're a York resident, you get a pass to the Minster and you can go and watch the choir practices. So I'd just go and sit, and I felt a bit like that. You know that scene in Home Alone where they're in the church and like he's there on his own and there's the scary man. There'd always be me and like one scary man in like a big overcoat. But you'd just sit and watch the choir practice and it was just like goosebump inducing.
Give you the strength you needed to fight off the burglars.
It did, yes, it did. Hank and Marv didn't stand a chance after that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just think it's incredible.
Well, I get that. No, they are. There is something about any kind of cathedral, any kind of like, you know, big flash church. It just works.
It just
even though
works.
you're not kind of necessarily. There's a really nice one in Lincoln as well, on the top of the hill. You kind of walk around that. You're like, yep, I get it.
I get it. I totally get it. I totally get it. And I think as York, all the, you know, like the shambles, all the little cobbled streets kind of lead up to it. It feels like it's a real culmination of this like historical place. And when I was in York, I was working at the York Dungeon as like a kind of, well, you play all different characters, but it's like a zombie plague victim, a zombie torturer, a zombie Dick Turpin's girlfriend, you know. So I was like thinking about like history all day, every day, and then living in York, and I just found it so magical. I feel like it's a film set. I just love it so much.
So were you, when you were doing that, what was your kind of dream, kind of post? Was it to be an actress, or did you want to do something? Did you want to work in comedy? What was it?
I think I've always wanted to do comedy, even from being a little girl. But so this was after uni, so it was kind of a job that you could do in the north that was acting adjacent. And weirdly, the York Dungeon, when I'd moved schools, I would skive off. And instead of skiving off and doing something cool, I would get the bus to York. I'm such a loser. I'd get the bus to York and I'd go around the York Dungeon because I thought it was so cool. It was like, it's quite frightening. It's a bit scary and it's like funny. And it was sort of, I thought it was amazing. It was like finding System of Down or something. It's that thing where you go like, oh, I get this. I really like this. But it's weird and it's a bit sort of offbeat and it's a bit dark and it's a bit this. But, so I'd always loved the Dungeon, and basically as soon as I saw an audition, I went and got the job, and then didn't think about how, because I'm not like super brave with scary stuff. It's a terrifying place to work.
I bet, yeah.
In
because
winter,
you're in a dungeon.
You're in a dungeon.
Yeah.
And audiences come round every 7 minutes if there's people there.
And of course, if they're not. Jeez, yeah.
You're sat on your own in the dark, covered in fake blood, listening to horror soundtracks that are like screams. Some of them have like crying babies in them. Like it's really genuinely fucking terrifying.
Of course it is.
And you're sat there sometimes for an hour on your own with nothing to do. You haven't got your phone. You're just sat listening to horror sounds, and then you'll hear, or like in some so you're in like different rooms because you kind of go through history. So in some rooms you're sort of sat, and there's like a little light in the corner that flashes on, and you go, oh, that means a group has gone into the plague surgery, so I know I've got 7 minutes. So you kind of get ready, but like you kind of lose your fucking mind.
Of course you do. How long do you work there for?
About 3 years.
Wowzers. What is your final brilliant thing?
My final brilliant thing is the Christmas episode of Vicar Dibley.
Okay.
Where she has to eat 3 Christmas dinners.
Lovely.
I just think it's perfect.
Yes.
I think Dawn French is perfect. I think her performance is... But I think her performance in that specific episode is what made me want to do comedy.
Yeah, well, I was talking about them the other day. They were just the biggest thing when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like French and Saunders was the big show, and every Christmas they would basically parody the year.
I remember them doing Star Stories, you know, where they'd do impressions of, it was like Bros, Alison Moyet, Sonia, all these people that at the time I was probably slightly too young to know who they were, but I still found their impressions so good. Yeah. And I'd do impressions of Dawn French doing impressions of people that I didn't know who they were. Yeah. But all I knew was that Sonia had ginger curly hair and she had a Liverpudlian accent, and I'd be doing that to like my mum and dad. And Mum was like, do you know who this is? And I'd be like, no, but it's so funny.
I've tried so many times to get her on all the shows that I've done. Just for whatever reason, never been under. It's that frustrating thing. So I'd love to have a chat with her.
Oh my God,
But,
yeah.
Yeah, I think Jennifer Saunders is also super talented.
Incredible.
But I think Dawn French just has that kind of weird duende that you're just drawn to, and it's just like sort of a bit like Rick Mail,
Yes.
where she's just funny.
And I don't know if your family was the same, but like that sort of era of sitcoms was sort of the only thing that we'd all watch as a family.
Yeah.
Like particularly at Christmas,
You all sit down.
you all sit down.
Get the celebrations out,
Yeah.
and you're reminded of what it is to be a family, and everyone puts in the effort
Yes.
to kind of go, right, we're all going to sit down and watch this. This is what we've agreed on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we had it with the royal family as well.
Oh yeah.
That was, and my family as a similar kind of, dynamic. So it's when you're sat and you're seeing yourself reflected in the TV, but literally reflected in the TV. Like, oh, that's how we're sat. That's us. So I think like royal family, Vicar Dibley, French and Saunders, Fawlty Towers was the first
Do you know the
comedy I'd seen.
The common denominator between all three of them, like, I don't think Fawlty Towers, because that was written, he wrote that with Connie Booth, didn't he?
Yes.
But it is, you think of like John Sullivan, it's these kind of just one person sat in a shed who has actually no, because Caroline wrote it with Pat Cash, but you get not Pat Cash, that was fucking
Craig Cash.
Craig.
Yes.
Pat Cash is the tennis player.
Yeah.
But remarkable. It's a lot more upbeat. But the kind of outsiders in sheds, creating a thing for the nation to warm themselves around. That's kind of, broadly speaking, how British comedy sort of sitcoms have worked. Whereas the American style is very much that kind of, right, here's my idea, and now we get 10 geniuses in a room who can write an episode, and we can run it for 24. But it's though, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like those chances are taken as much now.
No.
Maybe because there isn't the money, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think.
But because you've done sketch stuff as well as stand up.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried writing kind of a sitcom or anything like that?
Yeah, so I did a Channel 4 Blap, which is where they give you kind of like a pilot. So I did one called Toads, which is still in development.
Oh, great.
And I've got a few sort of sitcoms sort of bubbling away. One with the BBC that we're really excited about. It's hard. Like writing sitcoms is so hard.
Yeah. But it's so great when you get it right.
Oh my God.
They are the best.
Yeah.
Like they're like, what's the one you're obsessed with? Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Fantastic.
But it's kind of they become friends.
Yeah.
That you get to hang out with, and you kind of revisit and spend time with them every so often. Just
100%.
go, oh God, like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Me and my wife are making our way through that again. You forget, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The standard of that sitcom is insane.
Yeah, it's written like a sort of like a farce. Like it's so tightly written and then like loosely performed that you fall under an illusion. And I think with Always Sunny as well, you kind of go, oh, these are just people just like improving, but it's like the plot and the structure is tight and like incredibly done. And I think sitcoms are the only thing that I constantly rewatch. I will constantly rewatch Peep Show. I constantly rewatch The American Office. I love the British Office, but like that's more of like a special occasion thing now. Whereas I can sort of have these American ones on like all the time. Like I sort of I've just started going through Friends again, and I was a bit like, well, I'll go through it again. It won't be as good. It won't be a masterpiece. It's so good. It's so tight. Every line is like impeccable, and the performance, if you forget how good they are because we've seen them so much, their performances, particularly I think Ross, David Schwimmer, his physicality, his physical comedy is just unbelievable. But yeah, I just think.
But that's your go-to. So, like, whenever you're down, would it be Vicar of Dibley?
Yeah, that's the ultimate. Particularly winter. As soon as I can, As soon as I hear a Christmas song in a taxi or something, I'm like, yes, come get that episode on. It's 3 dinners time.
Yeah.
Get that sprout when she's putting a sprout
Yeah.
in between a tooth and a top lip with a fork. I'm like, this is perfect comedy.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, I love her. Oh, I really enjoyed that. It was so much fun. Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Amy Gledhill.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure.